This is the Getting Into Alignment podcast. Here we play in the quantum world of possibilities. If you desire it, you get to have it. My name is Alexa Ray Smith. I'm a business coach and spiritual teacher for women in business. I'm here to help you unlock your personal power and tap into your magnetism so that you can manifest the most incredible life for yourself and build the business of your dreams. These episodes will help you plug into the energy of infinite potentiality and teach you the tools you need to play in this world where limitations don't exist. On this podcast, I'll be talking to you about energetics, mindset, embodiment, spirituality, money, and business. Everything that you want is on the other side of you getting into alignment. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Getting Into Alignment podcast. I'm your host, Alexa Ray Smith, and today I'm just gonna get right into it. I recorded a video yesterday and I put it up on TikTok today, and I realized that if everyone just understood this one thing that I was talking about in this 2.5-minute video, your life would completely change. And I saw a bunch of people liking it, and I was like, I think that I need to do a whole podcast episode. I actually literally just stopped what I was doing because I just felt the pull from the universe to come in and record. So I don't know if you can hear this bird that is squeaking out my window or not. Hopefully not. I have relocated my desk where I put it, and I put it near the window. And I am not sure what these birds are in the south. They are not in the north. And I'm going to be fully honest with you. I love animals, but these birds drive me crazy. And one likes to sit in the bush right here and screech. So I truly hope that you can't hear it. Anyway, we're just going to talk through the bird because the divine told me to get on and record. So here we are. This is what it looks like to have an intuitive-led business. So anyway, the video that I'm referring to, in that one, I was talking about how if there are any beliefs, and I mean any beliefs that you have or any stories that you have that you do not like, any belief that makes you feel like shit, any belief that makes you doubt yourself, any story that tells you that you can't have what you want to have, any limitation, any lack, anything that does not feel like it lights your soul the fuck up, I want to be the one to tell you, in case you have never heard this from anyone else before, or if you've heard it but it just hasn't landed for you yet, that you get to change it. Any belief, any story that is telling you that you have to sacrifice, that you have to worry, that you have to doubt, that you have to fear, that you have to go into lack, that you have to feel stuck in a story that you don't like, or living in a reality that you're not in love with, or going through experiences on repeat that just aren't what you desire to be going through. You get to change it. 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 I feel like I just need to scream this from the rooftops because I know how many of you are actively doing the mindset work because you're in my community. So of course you're doing the work, and because you guys engage with me and you interact and you send me messages and I hear about you. And I study the field, right? And I can see how many people are following mindset. Even on YouTube, I've started studying YouTube a little more recently. And even on YouTube, mindset is a big thing that is truly, really taking over the collective. And I'm so excited. Like when I tell you guys to stop watching the news because they're going to tell you that like it's the end of the world, which I feel like they've always been saying, but like specifically for the past 2 years, this is the beginning of the new world. That there's nothing that has ever been more clear to me. If you are not aware with the solstice energy that's been happening, if you haven't been looking at the Schumann resonance and seeing that the frequency of Earth for the first time is vibrating with balance and with these higher frequencies that we're meant to have. If you're part of my email list, I sent an email out yesterday. What is time? I think it was yesterday, yes. And I talked about the current energy update. And I explained in there that the Octarian Council and the Galactic Federation, yes, we get very spiritual in my community because I also give you all of the science to back it. And I trust that if you are here, you are a multidimensional being that resonates with this. Anyway, they have been sending us light frequency updates. And what happens when you go to sleep, I don't know if the whole thing of sleep has ever like tripped you out. And this is not going to be that long of a tangent because we're going to get back on point, but I'm feeling called to say this now. That when you are sleeping, your consciousness is traveling through the astral realms. So when you go to sleep, your physical body is sleeping and is really refreshing and rejuvenating itself, but your consciousness is traveling in the astral plane. And if you are a light worker, if you are a guide, if you are a healer, if you are somebody here that is here to help bridge the new paradigm forward, which I truly believe if you are in my community, you are traveling in the astral planes. Whether you're aware of it or not, though I am almost positive that you have been having the most insane dreams this week especially, it is because of the fact that while you are traveling in the astral plane and you are working with either the Octarian Council, the Galactic Federation, or any higher dimensional beings that are really here to help us facilitate the process of transcending the 3D matrix and getting fully into the 5D consciousness level. They are helping us to upgrade our consciousness while we are traveling with them in the astral realms. Then what's happening is if we just came back to our body at the frequency that it's at, and I trust that you guys are doing the frequency work because you're here, and it's gotten to a certain level where we need a little bit of assistance because otherwise this process is going too slowly. So we are getting assistance from them. And what they're doing is, especially through the solstice, they have been upgrading our cellular DNA. You guys hear me talk about recoding your cellular DNA all of the time. And I get that this term isn't talked about commonly. That's how it downloaded to me and through me. So understand that this is a process that you do, and there are other beings out there that are helping you and all of us. So especially through the solstice, we have been getting a lot of upgrades, specifically to our body and to our consciousness. So you might be feeling really exhausted. You might have really interrupted sleep right now. You might feel like you're just really drained. There might be a lot of emotions going on. Whatever it is, it's all perfect because this is part of the process. So we are literally bridging this new paradigm forward right now. Like, this is the precipice. I actually saw on TikTok that there were a bunch of people at Stonehenge and they were like saying that this is the age of Aquarius. I argue that the age of Aquarius truly started when Pluto entered Aquarius. So I would say a few months ago, but there is no definitive time. That's just how it's channeled through me. But so what I want to tell you is that you are ascending right now. Your consciousness is ascending, your body is ascending, and we as a collective are ascending. And I want you to think about it like a phoenix. In order for a phoenix to become a phoenix, it has to completely burn into ashes and then be reborn again. So there is no part of its old identity that is left when it goes through this transition. It truly transmutes everything that it once was. And you right now, we right now are the phoenix. We are phoenixes, we are rising. So I always tell you guys, don't watch the news anyway. Don't listen to any fear-based paradigms because they're just trying to keep you stuck in the matrix, and they're trying to keep us all stuck in the matrix. But you're not here for that. I'm not here for that. We have too big of a mission, you and I. We had a soul contract to facilitate this process. We knew we were coming into a difficult life because truly, the 3D matrix has been hell. Hell isn't somewhere else. Hell exists in the 3D paradigm that we've all been sold on a silver platter. In order for us to have heaven on earth, we need to keep going through this process. We are like the earth warriors that came here knowing that this was going to be a bumpy ride. And we are strong enough to handle it. Even if you are questioning yourself and doubting yourself, you are strong enough to handle it. So the thing is, though, if you're going to keep doing this work, which I know you are, but in order for you to truly transcend and for you to transmute your old identity and your old beliefs and your old stories, you have to stop reaffirming them. You have to stop buying into them. You have to stop believing them. You have to stop telling everyone in your life your old way of being, your old beliefs. And what I mean, and when I say old, I mean anything that you don't desire. If you don't have what you want to have yet in your life, whether it is money, whether it is love, whether it is your career, whether it is your home, your car, the travel opportunities, the success, whatever it is, you get to change that. But you have to be the one that changes. I see so many people saying that they want something, and then they are just allowing their circumstances to control their reality because they say that they want something and then nothing changes. So they just go back to who they were. And it's like, how is anything going to change if you keep going back? If you keep looking at your 3D, if you keep surrounding yourself with people who aren't doing this work, who don't believe that there is a precipice right now where we are truly bridging the paradigm to 5D. Like, this is the most beautiful time to be alive. It isn't scary, it's beautiful, because just like the phoenix, especially in America, every system that exists in America is broken, like fundamentally, systemically broken. And I can be the one to tell you because my bleeding heart Aquarian with a stellium in Aquarius, so I'm not just an Aquarius sun, I have a stellium in Aquarius. I truly thought that I could change the world by working for the government because I'm so intelligent, because I'm so passionate, because I fight for what I believe in. I truly thought that I could be the one that could make a sustainable change. And I know for a fact that other nations specifically look at New York State. And if you're new here, I worked for the New York State government for 8 years. And I truly thought that I could make effective changes. After 8 years of fighting and fighting and fighting, I finally realized that the government doesn't want to change. And anyone, honestly, that's why the majority of people that work for the government are honestly not that intelligent. Because they don't want you to be intelligent, because if you're intelligent, you will understand how flawed the system is and you will try and change it. They don't want it to change. And once I realized that, that's when I was like, oh, all right, bye. I cannot do this from the inside because the inside doesn't want to change. And if you look at history, revolutions have always started by the people remembering that they are the one in charge and the people in the government work for them. You guys have to realize that the government, the media, they all benefit from your ignorance. They benefit when you think you're powerless. They benefit when you think that sickness and poverty are normal because you're easily controlled. But that is not what you are here for. You are a divine being that has infinite potentiality available to you at every single moment. So you need to put your blinders on, and you need to stop watching the news. You need to stop listening to people that are just like the government that don't want to change. And you have to be the one that changes, so that way you can lead others. And I always say, it's like, I truly believe that I took the path of almost a shaman, where it was like I went through the darkness, including the 8 years that I worked for the government, so that way I could shine a light and guide others to where they need to go. I need you to remember that you are one of those people. Like, that's why they're called light workers, right? You can't keep getting lost in the shadows. You can't keep getting stuck in the matrix. I get that rewiring your mind is difficult. I get that you haven't been trained on how to regulate your nervous system. I get that your cellular DNA has been coded towards lack. We have mastered lack as a society, and you've been sold lack. You've been sold sickness. But you have to realize, just because that's what you were told you had to live like, that is not how you have to continue to live. And if you are not the one that decides to change, then you're not going to be able to lead others. You're not going to be able to model what it looks like to have done this work and come through on the other side. I need you to know that a belief is just a thought that you keep thinking. So stop thinking it. If it's not one that you don't want to believe anymore, stop thinking it. If it's not a story that you want to tell anymore, stop telling it. If the role that you are currently playing in your life is not the role that you want to play, change it. You are the director, you are the producer, you are the screenwriter, you are the main character, you are the set designer, you are everyone in the whole cast. You get to decide. You get to be a different person. You get to have different beliefs. You get to tell different stories. You get to have different experiences. I'm not going to tell you that it's going to be easy to do that work, because it's really not. Like, it's fucking not. That's why I have programs and academies and the podcast. And that's why I post 5 TikTok videos a day. I want to remind you guys that you didn't sign up for it to be easy. But here's the paradox, right? Once you go through this work of rewiring, regulating, and recoding, then ease is what you know, because you're no longer making it hard for yourself. You're no longer believing that it has to be hard. You're no longer pretending that you actually buy into this. Do you want your business to be hard? No. Do you want money to be hard? No. Do you want making sales to be hard? No. Do you want happiness to be hard? No. Do you want love to be hard? No. Do you want inner peace to be hard? No. Like, if you don't want it, you don't have to have it. And there is one thing to say about, like, there's certain soul lessons and everything that you came here to learn. So learn your lessons, extract the wisdom, transcend the patterns, break them, shatter them, and create a new life story for yourself. Create a new life experience. You have so much assistance on your side. The universe the universe has your back. The universe is trying to help you. The Galactic Federation, like, there are beings that you can't see, you can't hear. Well, I mean, arguably, if you start channeling and everything and meditating and doing the work, then you would be able to hear them. But it's like, you have to know that you're not in this alone. This is a collective consciousness, and we are actually a united front. Even though you're being sold that this party is fighting against this party and this one's fighting here and this and da. If you actually looked at what's happening, like, don't get caught in the nuances. If you zoomed out, you would just see that every broken system right now on Earth is falling to pieces. And that isn't scary. That's beautiful. But we as a collective need to do the work on ourselves, and we need to create communities and create organizations and create businesses that are actually going to resonate with the new way of life, where satisfaction, where happiness, where peace, where love, where abundance are our natural state of being, because that is your natural state of being. But you cannot keep going back to those old beliefs and going back to those old stories. If you say you want to change, it's a decision. It's not a want, because a want, you're not going to do whatever it takes. You have to do whatever it takes to change. You have to be diligent, understanding that rewiring your mind takes consistency, not when you want to. This is an everyday thing. It is like working out. Yes, you do take like 2 days off and have rest days, but do you actually stop working out? No, you're just doing lighter workouts. You're going for walks, or you're doing yoga, or you're doing body work, something that is just not as intense on your body, but you're still showing up every single day. I don't know about you, but I mastered health so long ago, because that was my first battle, was truly being healthy and being at a healthy weight, and going through a diagnosis of an autoimmune disease that was keeping me at toxic gluten levels, and was overweight, and it was tanking my mental health. Like, health was the first thing I mastered. So for me, it's not even a question of, am I going to do something to take care of my body today? It's just programmed into my identity now. I don't question it. And that was something that I struggled with, 2 decades ago? I don't even know. What is time, right? But like 10 years ago, that was a struggle for me. It was difficult. But you know what I did? I realized that I couldn't keep living this way. And not only that, but I received a diagnosis that was like, you literally can't keep living this way, or you're gonna die. And it was like, okay, well, I don't know how to do this, but I'm gonna commit myself to it, because I don't have any other choice. That's what I want you to realize with mindset work. It's not a choice for you to not do it. I get that that was double negative, but you have to do it. Like, it is just necessary, because if you don't do the mindset work, you're never going to change, and then you won't change your lineage. Because here's the thing, past generations, your parents, your grandparents, your great grandparents, they weren't able to do the work that we are. They didn't do it. If they did, we wouldn't have witnessed the baby boomer generation kill the planet and reinforce the blue collar society, and reinforce war, and reinforce the war on thoughts and the war on drugs, and all of these things that just kept us living in a way that boxed us all in. We are the generation that says, we're not subscribing to the boxes. You can't give me a gender identity that I don't want. You can't give me a sexuality that I don't want. You can't make me eat food that I don't want to eat. You can't make me work at a job that I don't want to work at. You can't tell me what I have to do. And yes, I get that I'm telling you that you have to do mindset work, but understand that I'm telling you this as a spiritual teacher who knows that you came here to do this work. And you're not just doing this work for you. You are doing it to heal the generational wounds. You are doing this so that way the future generation, whether you decide to have kids or not, this is impacting not even just Earth, you guys. Like, if you understood how connected you are to the other species that are out there, they are all watching us, because the lessons on Earth, like, to have chosen to be incarnated on Earth, you chose the hardest mission that there was, because we are doing the work that the collective relies on. If that didn't give you goosebumps, like, I need you to know that yes, it feels hard. And yes, sometimes you just feel like a small, powerless human being, but you're not. You are not. And any moment that you feel like that, surrender, because you are buying into a limiting belief. You're buying into an old story. You're buying into a program that doesn't benefit you. It benefited the society that we are no longer a part of. And what is happening right now on earth is truly beautiful. What is happening is we are no longer subscribing to hate. We're no longer subscribing to lack. We're no longer subscribing to limitation. We are no longer going to keep living the way that we were told we had to live, because we now have proof that we don't have to do that. I don't know about you, but I truly thank the universe every single day for the internet, because if we did not have the internet and have a free internet, I argue that we probably wouldn't be able to do this. We wouldn't be able to ascend as a consciousness, because we wouldn't be able to connect with like-minded people. We would keep having one rich family who owns all of the media and one rich corporation that owns all of the big corporations, feeding us stories and feeding us a lifestyle that is truly killing our life force energy. Not because they know this is the way it has to be, but because they know that they will keep being in power if we think it's the way it has to be. You guys, I know how difficult it is when you are trying to do this work, when you're trying to rewire your mind, when you're trying to manifest, and it feels like you're not even the hamster on the wheel. Like, I'm going to go back to the Sisyphus metaphor. It feels like you are pushing up that boulder and there's no sign that you're getting to the top. And you are sweaty and you're frustrated and you're defeated. And you just feel like you don't have any more energy to give. I want you to know that the reason why you feel that way is you're not just doing this for you. You are literally clearing the past generations that have lived on Earth. And you're not just doing it for Earth. You're not just doing it for your family. You are doing it for the entire universe. This is the most important work that anyone could ever do. Fuck a job. Fuck a job. That was sold to you too. This is the work. This is the work. You understanding how powerful you are, how divine you are, how limitless you are, and doing the work and committing to it, so that way you're no longer pushing that boulder up the hill. So that way you get to live whatever life feels good to you. You get to love whoever you want to love. You get to hang out with whoever you want to hang out with. You get to read whatever book you want to read. You get to create content if that's what makes you happy. You get to do whatever is on your heart and soul to do and to give, because you are truly magical and you have the ability to do anything. But the reason why you haven't manifested and the reason why you haven't yet gotten that life that is your picturesque, perfect life. I don't care what the American dream tells you. I don't care what anyone else is doing. I want you to live the most authentic life for you. I want you to be your authentic self. I want you to feel so enriched with your daily life every single day. And yes, you're human, and yes, you'll have emotions, and it won't always feel epic and amazing. And you can still be in love with your life while you're having your emotional wave. If you are an emotional authority, you get to live whatever life you want to live. You get to tell whatever stories you want to tell. But you're going to keep taking yourself out of that power if you keep going back to the old way of thinking. If you keep believing all of the lies that you were sold while you were growing up, because they were all lies. They were all lies. And you have to be the one that challenges all of them. You have to be the one that challenges all of your beliefs. You have to be the one that challenges all of your stories. And I'm telling you, when you actually just start believing those new beliefs as deeply and embody them as much as you have those limiting beliefs, You are going to be empowered and no one will be able to stop you. This is what I want for you. This is what I desire for you. We are like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I just need you to know that one, you're the one shining the light. So that's your highest self saying, keep going, keep going. You're almost there. You're almost there. So don't give up. Don't buy into the fear. Don't buy into the bullshit. And allow yourself to truly live freely. All right. I love you guys so much. That was my channeled spiritual worship for today. And if you need help with this, I got you. Just reach out to me. We can do this work together. I believe in you. And I love you so much. And I'm so grateful that you're here. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you're ready to go deeper and to get into my world, you can go to my website, alexaraesmith.com. You'll find all of my current programs on there. If you're desiring to get mentored by me, then the best thing to do is shoot me a DM on Instagram and we can talk about mentorship options and which one's the best fit for you. If you're absolutely loving this podcast, please go rate it 5 stars and let me know why you're loving it. This will help me share the podcast with more people. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. And until the next episode, keep manifesting the most incredible life.